Allow me to explain the science behind micropay freemium gaming. For years, the concept behind gaming was simple. You pay for the game and you enjoy. With mobile apps, we now have the ability to make games that are boring and stupid. But if you pay for incentives, you're rewarded.
Freemium. The mium is Latin for not really.
It's a simple cycle, a never-ending loop based on RPGs. Explore, collect, spend, improve. But whereas those just use the concept of XP or experience points, we've introduced the idea of micro-paying with money. Money, 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 money.
It's what everyone is doing. Freemium games are what's now, and it's all just a lot of harmless fun.
The successful freemium game is based on 5 principles. Entice the player with a simple game loop. Use lots of flashing cha-chings and compliments to make the player feel good about themselves. Train the players to spend your fake currency. Offer the players a way to spend real currency for your fake currency,
so they'll forget they're spending money.
And make the game about waiting. But let the player pay not to wait. It's a surefire way to make lots of money.
We understand micropaying, but can't the game hidden inside the charade just at least be fun?
No. It has to be just barely fun. If the game was too fun, then there would be no reason to micropay in order to make it more fun.
We were in an interesting position with digital card games in that when they started to offer packs of these things for real money, quite a few of us said, well, you know what, this is how it's always been. This is simply a replication of the physical system. In reality, of course, that wasn't really true. The physical system provided a physical product, a product that could be traded or sold freely. A product in which you could buy a single card that you specifically wanted simply by having the money for it, or trade it for something of equal value. In the case of Magic the Gathering, the reason that hasn't been regulated, the reason why it hasn't been labeled as gambling, is because you are getting something of guaranteed value out of the packet. And compared to actual gambling, in which you put in money and may very well get nothing in return, it's a little different, and legislation in many countries seems to agree with that particular concept. They do not view the idea of a blind box in the same way that they view actual monetary gambling. But this is the year. This is the year when the idea of the loot box, which actually affects gameplay, managed to make the jump from mobile gaming, where it has been for a while, and to some extent, of course, also many Asian titles that essentially invented the concept of pay to win a long, long time ago, and then taken it into the mainstream with AAA titles.
Is something called Hacker Chest.
It's more like a simulation of a shitty mobile free-to-play game.
Really? This is the thing you want confronting people as soon as they load your game for the first time.
It's pay to win. Pay to win in our $60 multiplayer game. It's no.
This is a premium game that contains microtransactions. Yes, completely random loot boxes that frankly feels wrong for this game.
I got fucking 3 sprays and a fucking player icon.
There was no way as a customer to look at that transaction, decide, I just lost $2 of actual value.
Not only is it insulting to me that they've put to ransom a bunch of content to encourage you and play mind games with you to spend extra money in a game that already costs $60, but it makes the idea of loot completely meaningless when the story behind you getting it was just, oh, I bought it for real money. The stuff they're charging money for is the kind of thing games used to include as actual content. And don't even try to tell me that it doesn't affect gameplay. It's part of the game, so it's affecting my gameplay. That's the end of it.
Get the fuck out of my... Won't wreck packs with special weapons break the exquisitely refined balance of arena multiplayer? Secure your noise hole, soldier. Grown-ups are talking. Damn.
Shut the fuck up! The grown-ups are talking! If you don't like the system, you're not a grown-up!
There's a reason why loot boxes even come with all the visual and auditory cues and flares involved with slot machines and pachinkos. It's all about that build-up, the anticipation, the hope and illusion that you're getting closer and closer to hitting jackpot, promptly followed by disappointment and a necessity to try again, hoping for a different outcome.
The goal was not to put users in a position where they were gambling. It was to put them in a position where they had random chances, and there's a fundamental difference there. When we launched the store for Team Fortress, we shipped it with a system that we called crates and keys. You use the key disappears, the crate disappears, and you get one of the items that come out of it.
They're things that our customers like to have, but they're not actually necessary in order to play the game. After all, if you got a rare item, you'd like it because it was rare, even if it was an aesthetic that you didn't appreciate.
Whenever I see someone purchase one of these things, and I've done this before, even to myself, when I purchase one of these things, I look like a fucking idiot.
It's all about finding the heaviest users and extracting the most amount of cash from them. That's how you get addicts to pay $200 for a game that's not even worth 40 cents. But then all our profits come from people with problems. Don't think about that. Think about all the money. Here, have a bump of coke.
I don't give a crap what it looks like, bro. That's a freaking knife, dude.
It's the type of person who's focused totally on himself and his needs, almost to the exclusion of everyone else. It stems from a myth in Greek mythology in which a person that he's looking for the perfect mate. At any rate, he chances upon a pond, and he sits down next to the pond and he sees the reflection of himself, and he becomes in love with himself. He's so beautiful, he's so handsome, and he just sits there and stares at himself, totally wrapped up in himself, until eventually he shrivels up and dies.
Games are able to make millions off of it, even smaller percentage of global gamers.
Who cares? You think the fucking alcohol industry cares? They don't care that 10% are gonna get addicted. They're counting on it. It's the same with us.
It's just cosmetic, it doesn't affect the game. But we both know that's fucking bullshit, because games wouldn't offer them as rewards otherwise. Players wouldn't want to show them off otherwise. I think everything in a game affects a game, because that's how games are designed, you see?
Surely you understand, it'll never be enough. You have to ask yourself, when you finally get the ultimate promotion, when you've made the ultimate purchase, when you buy the ultimate home, when you have stored up financial security and climbed the ladder of success to the highest rung you can possibly climb it, and the thrill wears off, and it will wear off, then what? How far do you have to walk down that road before you see where it leads? None of it was really yours. You got all heated up about it for a while.
All right, Mr. Newell, I got some questions for you.
Call me Gabe.
Okay, thanks. All right. First question. What do you think of the current state of the gaming industry?
It sucks.
Do you care to elaborate?
Not really.